It's a season full of twists and turns. It's incredibly exciting. It's very fast-paced.
Out of control.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
The season is like an avalanche.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, an avalanche of joy, grief, loss, pain. Well, this is what we made. We had an amazing time doing it and we put everything into it and we hope you like it. And if you don't,
yeah,
fair enough.
And we're very proud of it.
Yeah.
We're very proud of the work we did.
How did you approach your character with a major storyline but was given brief mentions in Tolkien's stories?
That was the best part about it. He's integral, clearly, which is I didn't realise before I started this job, but mentioned very much, as you say, briefly in passing as a sort of footnote. And that's what I think this whole series has capitalised on so well, is that it takes Tolkien's sort of signposts and fills in the gaps between them. And it seems to me a perfect opportunity for an adaptation like this. And a character like Celebrimbor is a perfect example of that. And he's never been, you know, the expectation, for example, would be far more intense if it had been played before. It's never been played before, so in a screen version. So it's been a real joy to do it.
How did you prepare the moment that you knew you were playing Sauron?
First of all, I think I was relieved more than anything, because I had an inkling that maybe I was Sauron before they told me, because they didn't tell me until the start of the third episode in season 1. But I think I prepared pretty much from having to focus on the character as a three-dimensional character and try and remove any preconceived notions of like him being a supervillain. Because I get that he plays that role in the story, but I went right into the text of what Tolkien wrote about this time period and tried to really understand him from Tolkien's perspective. And he is written as a really interesting character. And yeah, the understanding was the first step.
Okay, but playing an iconic villain, even without, I mean, you giving the face finally.
Yeah.
Because it used to be just a blazing eye
Yeah.
or something, right? I wonder if it was something of a pressure or challenge, or was it the most exciting part about it?
I think that's just the exciting part. I think the pressure is relieved when you know that it's kind of like nothing is the finished article. It's like, particularly in a show like this, where you go through, it's just another interpretation, and then there will be another interpretation in the future, whether it's by us again, you know, when I get another chance, if we do another third season, or it's kind of just like, you just kind of learn as you go, and we put everything into it. Like this storyline, we just loved doing it so much, and it's just kind of like, I have the perspective of like, well, this is what we made. We had an amazing time doing it, and we put everything into it, and we hope you like it. And if you don't,
yeah,
fair enough.
And we're very proud of it.
Yeah.
We're very proud of the work we did.
Can you just tease a bit what's the relationship between your characters?
I think the main thing to remember is that it's not just a puppet and puppet master. It descends into all kinds of other areas later in the season, but initially they're embarking on something together. I mean, he has presented himself as the leader, the advisor, the god, the deity, which he is. So, you know, I'm being led in some sense in that way. However, in terms of ability and status, Celebrimbor is still, you know, they're vying for. They both need something from the other.
Yeah.
One is dependent on the other. So that leads to a quite interesting disruption of equilibrium as we progress through the season.
How was it working with each other offset?
Fantastic. And we've talked about it a lot. Like it was just felt very easy. And I think that sense of ease is an underrated thing with acting, because a lot of the time you see actors, and this is not a criticism at all, but it's an observation. I think sometimes actors feel like they need to push or be very confrontational or whatever it might be, and maybe there's times that call for that, but I think we found a real sense of ease working together, which kind of meant that we were very comfortable and open to just exploring, playing around. Also, I mean, we both prepared really thoroughly, which kind of meant that we could come to the work with a lot of confidence.
also we were given the space even on shooting days, not necessarily on rehearsal days, on shooting days to take time to, you know, there was a lot of discussion with the directors and how do you think we should do this? You know, it's very collaborative and very satisfying in that way.
What is it like on set, being part of a show that has a very devoted fan base?
It's great.
It's thrilling. It really is. I mean, every day, it's, you know, it never becomes humdrum. It never becomes, you're never reluctant to be there. It's because it's such a huge excitement to be part of Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's, you know, it's, I can't even believe I'm just said that.
Exactly.
It's an extraordinary thing, and still, it's still wondrous to be part of.
And
it's magic.
It's also nice to know that people are going to watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Generally, what should viewers look forward to the most?
I think it's a season full of twists and turns. It's incredibly exciting. It is very fast paced, like right from the off.
Yeah, it
The
really
thing that
is.
really epitomizes it is like the prologue finishes, which is Sauron's backstory, as you've seen. The titles come up, and then you kind of launch straight into like a two horses galloping, and it's like,
it's really exciting.
and that is a kind of a metaphor for the whole season.
Yeah.
It's like you like to use the analogy of a massive boulder rolling
at the top
down a
of the
hill.
Yeah, I think
Which
it's
I've
a
never
good-
heard that analogy before, but
Well,
it does kind of work.
Now you're thinking about it, how do you feel about
Yeah,
it?
it's good. It's quite, it implies like a lot of destruction.
That's why I'm using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of control,
Yeah, it's
dangerous,
better than a snowball, because snowballs can kind of not.
become sluggish.
Yeah, exactly.
Avalanche, how about that?
The season is like an avalanche.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
we
an
go.
avalanche of joy, grief, loss, pain. That's an original answer. We haven't said that to
Oh,
anyone.
really? Okay,
Yeah,
well, I feel so honored.
Exclusive.